Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone. Chapter 1, The Boy Who Lived. The chapter begins on a seemingly ordinary day at number 4, Privet Drive. We're introduced to the Dersley family, who are portrayed as the epitome of normalcy. Mr. Vernon Dursley, a large, burly man, is described with a vivid attention to his physical characteristics and personality. He works at Grunnings, a drill manufacturing company, and is portrayed as someone who values predictability and order in his life. His job and lifestyle are emblematic of his desire to avoid anything that might disrupt his comfortable existence. Petunia Dursley, his wife, is described as thin and somewhat prim. Her obsession with propriety and appearances is evident in her disdain for anything unusual. She is deeply concerned with maintaining the image of normalcy, which is a significant aspect of her character. Their son, Dudley, is a spoiled child who demands constant attention and indulgence. Dudley's behavior is a direct reflection of his parents' focus on material comfort and conformity. As Mr. Dursley begins his day, he notices several unusual things that unsettle him. These events are key to the chapter's magical undertone. On his way to work, Mr. Dursley observes people dressed in bizarre clothing, such as robes and hats. These individuals are actually wizards and witches, celebrating the defeat of Voldemort. But Mr. Dursley is completely unaware of their significance. He overhears snippets of conversations about someone named the Boy Who Lived, which confuses and irritates him. This mention is crucial as it introduces the concept of Harry Potter's fame in the magical world, setting up the reader for his significance. Mr. Dursley's growing agitation is a reflection of his deep-seated fear of the unknown and his desire to maintain control over his life. The narrative tension escalates when Mr. Dursley encounters a cat reading a map. This sight is absurd to him and further symbolizes the magical world intruding into his ordinary life. Mr. Dursley's reaction to these occurrences is a mix of frustration and fear, highlighting his complete lack of understanding of the magical world. The scene then shifts to a more profound discussion between two key characters from the magical world, Professor Dumbledore and Professor McGonagall. They are discussing the recent defeat of Voldemort, a dark wizard who had terrorized the magical community for years. This conversation reveals critical background information about the magical world and sets up the central conflict, the series. Professor Dumbledore and Professor McGonagall discuss the significance of the event. We learn that Voldemort's curse aimed at killing a young boy named Harry Potter backfired, resulting in Voldemort's downfall. Harry, who survived the curse, is left with a lightning-shaped scar on his forehead. This moment is pivotal as it establishes Harry as the boy who lived, a central figure in the magical world. Professor McGonagall is deeply concerned about the safety and well-being of Harry, expressing her doubts about leaving him with the Dursleys. Her concern is rooted in the Dursleys' known aversion to anything magical and their lack of compassion. Despite her reservations, Dumbledore insists that Harry must be placed with the Dursleys for his protection. He believes that hiding Harry away from the public eye will ensure his safety from potential threats and allow him to grow up in a relatively normal environment. After Dumbledore's discussion with Professor McGonagall about Harry's future, we see Hagrid's dramatic entrance on his magical motorcycle. Hagrid is a beloved character who brings a sense of warmth and magic to the story. His motorcycle, clear indication of the magical world's presence, contrasts sharply with the ordinary world of the Dursleys. Hagrid's careful handling of baby Harry reflects his deep care and affection for the child. Hagrid places baby Harry gently on the doorstep of number 4 Privet Drive, along with a letter from Dumbledore. This letter is not just a formal communication, it is a lifeline that connects Harry's past with his future. The letter is carefully written, explaining to the Dursleys who Harry is and why he's being left with. It mentions the tragic death of Harry's parents, Lily and James Potter, and the circumstances surrounding Voldemort's downfall. This letter is crucial because it provides the Dursleys with context for the situation they find themselves in. The act of leaving Harry on the doorstep is laden with symbolism. The doorstep of number 4 represents the boundary between Harry's past and his future. It is the point where the magical world intersects with the ordinary, marking the beginning of Harry's journey. The image of baby Harry, with his distinctive lightning-shaped scar, symbolizes the extraordinary life that lies ahead for him, despite the ordinary and unremarkable surroundings of the Dursleys. As the chapter concludes, focus shifts back to the Dursleys. Their reaction to finding Harry on their doorstep, one of shock and disbelief. The letter explains that Harry's magical background makes him special, but it also underscores the challenge of raising him in an environment that is completely alien to him. The Dursleys' response will set the tone for how they treat Harry in the coming years. The final lines of the chapter highlight the contrast between Harry's magical heritage and the Dursleys' mundane existence. This contrast is crucial as it sets up the central conflict of the series, clash between the magical and non-magical world. The chapter ends with a poignant moment, emphasizing the significance of Harry's arrival at Privet Drive. It's a moment that encapsulates the beginning of his journey from an ordinary child to a hero in a magical world. Thank you for watching this in-depth analysis of Chapter 1. If you enjoyed this detailed breakdown, please like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more comprehensive summaries and discussion. In the next video, we'll dive into Chapter 2 and continue exploring Harry Potter's incredible adventure. See you then.